Hello, everyone. I'm Jason McGraw. I'm the CD Expo and CIX show director, working with Emerald, our show management team. Today, we have several of our colleagues here on the webinar. This webinar is being recorded, and so it'll be available online with a link in the Exhibitor Resources Hub on the show website. We'll put that link in the chat for you. I also want to point out, housekeeping wise, that there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and you can use that to enter questions as we go along today. There's really two sections to today's webinar. The first section will run through some slides, things you need to do or think about preparing for the upcoming show in 2 weeks. And we also will then turn it over to our colleagues from Grip, who provide our mobile app matchmaking and lead retrieval services for the show. And it's something new this year. We've had Grip for a number of years on the show with the mobile app, but adding the lead retrieval capability this year for our exhibitors is an important new addition, and we want to explain that to you thoroughly. So I'm sure there'll be some questions. So without further ado, John, if you can advance the slides, we'll get started. So again, I introduced myself. We will go through a checklist, some important show information, move in, move out, talk about the app. But again, if you have a question, please enter it in the Q&A box. Here's all our smiling faces. Our operations team, Andrea, Chelsea, and Kate, all three will be on site at the show. They work with Freeman, they work with the building services, all of our show vendors, housing, etc. So if you have any questions at all, you can't find the answers in the exhibitor service manual, feel free to reach out to the operations team. Brianna Boyer, account services manager. Many of you have had interactions with Brianna and our colleague May, and Brianna takes care of our sponsorship fulfillment and a lot of the various and sundry. If you need help getting into the resource hub, password reset, etc., please reach out to Brianna. Chris and Chelsea, I think everybody knows. They are our account executives that work with our exhibitors on the show. If you have any last minute needs in terms of list rentals, on-site promotions, push notifications in the mobile app, digital signage, we still have opportunities. If you want to stand out from the crowd, drive booth traffic, etc., reach out to Chris and Chelsea. So that's our team, and we're here to help. So let's dive in. Move-in and move-out days for the show. Move-in starts Friday the 29th. All these hours are, again, published in the Exhibitor Resource Hub and in the Exhibitor Manual. Please note Labor Day is a recognized holiday, and there's some higher rates apply. Again, I want to remind everyone that we negotiated with Freeman and reduced material handling and rigging rates this year by a fair amount, and all the other Freeman service rates should be the same year over year from last year. So, we're definitely cognizant. It's a big investment to be at the show. We're trying to do everything we can to help moderate your costs this year. But definitely, if you have any needs, if you have any freight move-in questions, that is totally managed by Freeman. When you can get in, if you can't come in on your target date, etc., you need to reach out to Freeman for that. Reminder about the show hours: 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Remember that Wednesday, September 3rd, is the pre-conference day. That's when the CEDIA Education Conference begins on Wednesday. And there's functions like the town hall, member reception, etc. on Wednesday evening. Move out days, move out starts obviously when the show closes on Saturday. It takes time for them to pull up the carpet and then start to return the crates to your booths. And then move out continues over the weekend until Monday the 8th. Next slide, John. I mentioned the Exhibitor Resource Hub. Oh, wait, we jumped ahead a couple there. Well, let's talk to the one we're on. One thing you want to do for the mobile app and the benefit of the attendees is to go in and complete your profile. So if you haven't logged in and looked at, hey, here's our company description, etc., you want to do that. You want to register your booth staff for the show if you haven't already done that so they can get their badges. We do wristbands during the early part of move-in before registration opens, and those can be gotten from the security desk by the main Hall F entrance. Share your invite codes. Every brand, every exhibitor on the show has received a custom promo code that you can give out to invite your dealers, customers to come to the show. We've received thousands of those already, which is great. We can always use more help to keep pushing the word out and get more folks to register. It takes a village, so we definitely appreciate you getting the word out to your guests and help remind them to come see you in your booth. The mobile app is live for attendees and exhibitors. You can download that from the Apple or the Google Play stores to check it out, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I mentioned the resource hub. So at cediaexpo.com, at the top, you'll see a drop-down menu from show details. You'll see under the exhibit section is exhibitor resources. You want to log in there. That's where the service manual is. If you haven't ordered your electrical yet or you need shipping information, you want to go in there. If you need to order any furnishings or last-minute graphics, etc. But you also want to update your profile, as we talked about. And you can also upload press releases, show products, show specials if you have an upgraded profile. Also, if you have not already submitted your certificates of insurance for your exhibitor appointed contractors, you want to get those in. There are a few exhibitors that still owe a couple dollars on their booth space or sponsorships, so you want to make sure everything's paid up. You will not be permitted to set up your booth if you've not paid all your invoices to Emerald in advance. But there's still an opportunity to upgrade your online presence on the mobile app, and there's options to do that. So you can talk to Brianna, Chris, or Chelsea, and they can help you, appear higher in the listings, get some additional features there in the mobile app. Next slide, John. Again, to register your booth staff, you can go to exhibitor registration through the exhibitor hub. You definitely want to have everybody registered that is going to be working in your booth. Manufacturer reps, they have their own badge to get into the show. They're treated like exhibitor personnel. So you do not need to register your reps unless, in fact, you want them to have your company name on their badge in your booth. We don't like swapping of badges or lending the badges out. We want every person that's there to have a unique badge for security reasons, clearly. So please make sure that you register your personnel that are attending the show. I think we have a question here about certificate of insurance from Kathleen. Brianna, are you going to handle that?
I was going to type it, but I don't know how to go back. But yes, COI is required of all exhibitors, even if EAC is like a separate process. But yes, all exhibitors do require COIs.
Yeah, and that's in the terms and conditions of your exhibit contract. You want to make sure that you have a certificate of insurance, and your EAC also needs a certificate of insurance. So I apologize for the miscommunication there. Next slide, John. I mentioned the invite codes. We've upped the ante this year. There's a $5,000 discount on next year's booth for the brand's small, medium, large size booths that have the most number of codes redeemed. So we definitely are seeing a lot of codes being used. If you have not taken advantage of sharing your code with your customer list, your prospects, please do so. We have some marketing collateral to help you do that, and please reach out. We can make it easy for you, and you can get it turnkey and send it out to your list, and hopefully help us drive even more attendees. We're doing really well with registration, and hotel rooms are filling up. You may recall we switched housing vendors here. We have Hotel Map with EvolveCon, and confirmations are being sent out. We added additional hotels. The hotel cutoffs are typically this week, but they still have hotels available in downtown up through the show. So anybody that needs a hotel room, they will definitely help you out. And we add additional capacity. So we can accommodate guests, exhibitor personnel, your contractors, etc., with housing. But thank you very much. And next slide, please, John. So here, there's a QR code. You could look at the screen and open that up on your phone or device, and that'll take you to where you can download the mobile app. Again, it's not an open app, meaning that you have to have a unique email address to log in. So that way, because it has matchmaking capability and lead retrieval, it's not just a public app. So, it's really for the attendees and exhibitors that will be at the show. But the great thing this year is you'll hear from our colleagues at GRIP that, by having the lead retrieval on the mobile app, you can collect attendee leads, in the morning in the coffee line or at your reception in the evening or dinner or at the hotel, on and off the show floor. So this is a great way that you should be able to collect a lot more leads. Everybody on your team that will be at the show will have access to this and be able to collect leads. So hopefully this will be a really great experience this year. Question from Eric Bodley. Hello, Eric. When registering booth personnel, why do we have to go through and answer all the questions for each registration? Again, it may be unique. Somebody has a different title, they have a different function in your company, and it's not, it can be unique to the individual. If you have a giant list of personnel you'd like to upload, you can definitely send that in and we can help to process those. So we can help you out there. Can you order internet connectivity on site? Rhonda has a question. There is a a la carte, exhibitor access that you can do. And it should be similar to what it was last year. And I believe we have that information in the kit. But, if you need a wired or wireless connection on the show floor in your booth, there is an order form for that. But otherwise, if you're just looking on the browser when you log in at the convention center, you can select a pay-as-you-go option individually from your phone. There is complimentary Wi-Fi on the meeting room level and the public space areas of the convention center, but not on the show floor. And it's minimal bandwidth, but to allow you to check your email, etc. And then I see a question here from Charles. How do you log in? It's not recognizing your email. What can you do? We can certainly help you out with that, Charles. So we'll pause the questions about GRIP here in a second, and we'll get our colleagues on board. John, are there any other slides for our first section here?
I think we're good.
John, are you there? Is this the end of our slide presentation to this point?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think we're good.
So I just want to ask, are there any other questions not about the mobile app that we can address? About move-in or show services, registration, anything like that? Please put it in the chat. Happy to address those as well. We'll have some additional Q&A again. I'm going to now turn it over to our colleagues from GRIP, and we'll conclude these slides, and then they can go over, and Jelena will be able to help us, and Shelly's also on the line from GRIP. So let's take it over to Jelena there. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Let me just briefly share my screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see it. Let me just open it. Okay. Okay, so as Jason mentioned, I am here with my colleague Shelly. So we will be here just to address and go through the mobile app as well. We will go through some features on the web version for the My Team section. So you should have already, if I'm right, received your welcome email. There you will find your email address you have used to register with. You will also find the registration ID for claiming your account, and from there you will be able to jump and download the app. There will be a link that will take you, if you're on your mobile, to the mobile app store. From there you can download it, or if you're, let's say, on your laptop, you can it will take you to the web version. So once you have downloaded the app, it will basically look like this. Once you open it, from here on you will log in, enter your email, enter the badge ID. If you didn't receive it, usually sometimes it happens, you can request a reminder so you can receive a new one. Once you enter your registration ID, you can claim your account, and from there on create a password which you will use throughout the whole event. Once you open the app and enter on the actual app and the homepage, it will look something like this. So this is just a prototype, just a note. So some, let's say, like design can look a bit different, but the features and the functions are absolutely the same as I will show you today. So from here on, based if you're logging in on the web first or mobile first, you will also be presented with some onboarding questions that you will answer. Once you have answered those, complete your profile, you will be receiving some relevant recommendations. So let's say you click on the recommendations based on all of your interest, all of the information you provided during registering and during onboarding. You will receive about 10 profiles in a batch that will update daily. So from here on, you will see some profiles that are in the same interest line as you. You will have the option to skip them or even connect with them. So let's say you want to send a message or request a meeting based on what you're looking at that specific moment. From here on, you will also be able to access your profile, so you can make relevant updates here, change the preferences, and you will have the QR code. I will get into this also briefly. And also what Jason mentioned, what we have is building and qualifying questions, and also creating leads and qualifying them. So from here on, you will be able to access the option to create qualifying questions, which you will use once you are qualifying leads. This is a very convenient way, let's say, because it will be like on the go. You do not have to enter your web desktop, like carry your laptop or anything like that. From here on, you will be able to create all the questions that you and your team members also will be able to use once qualifying leads. So once you click on the new button, you will be presented with like a field where you can enter the questions and use the answers as paragraph, single select, multi-select. So let's say, for example, you're interested in the revenue from other exhibitors. If you're interested in like the interest area, business connections, products, you can create all the questions here. There is no limit in creating the questions, so you can create as much as you need. From here on, as we mentioned briefly, once you have the My QR code under your profile, but you will also have the badge scanner that you will use during the event. Once you click on the badge scanner, it will open your camera. So it's important also to add permission for camera to be connected with the actual app. And once you scan the badge, it will take you to the profile of the person you scanned. From there on, you will be able to see all of the profile details they have provided, and there is where the magic of lead qualification starts. So once you go to lead details, you will have like this option here, start qualifying. All of the questions you have, they will appear here, so you can choose from them, you can provide answers, and you can also add scores based on how relevant the leads are. From here on, you will also, once you connect with the other participants, you will be able to access the chat button. So under the chat button, you can go ahead and respond to any messages, exchange any messages with other participants. So everything will be held here under this, like, let's say, centralized hub where all of the messages from you will be held in. Here you can also access your schedule, go through filters if you want to make it a bit more granular. From here, once you have requested any meetings or have any meetings scheduled, if you have added any sessions, you will be able to see them here. So it's, as I mentioned, on the go, easy. You can follow everything through your phone while you are walking through some exhibitor booths or anything like that. And what is also very cool in this area, you can also sync it to your calendar, so you can also track it that way. Under the notifications tab, so from here, it's very important to enable all of your notifications just so you can receive them, just a real-time alert for all of the scheduled meetings. If a session is starting that you are interested in, if anyone has shown interest in you, everything will be held here so you can go through it in any period of the day. And under the More button is what we call a hamburger menu. So from here, it's basically the home page, all just in a list, so you can go through it easily, click on it, it will take you to the relevant option that you are going through. What I wanted to mention, you will also have the availability to go through attendee list, exhibitor lists, so basically anything you need will be held here, just so you can easily access all of them. So basically, that is when it comes to the mobile app. Do we maybe have any questions that I missed? But Shelly is here to assist also. Okay, so Jill, I registered last week. I will send an email to that email address on Monday and no reply. Are you not able to access the mobile app?
Yes, so we've got a couple questions around access. Just to kind of reiterate, there is about a 24-hour turnaround time between registering and then gaining access to the mobile app. From there, you'll be able to do all of the kind of powerful functions that Elena has talked about so far. If you have not already reached out to that mobile app, sorry, just catching up on this mobile app at emeraldx.com, please do so. It will be the same email address you used to register to be able to access the event. Bear in mind, as Jason was mentioning before, the event has used this app previously, so the password you may have set in years past will be the one that you'll use rather than that registration ID. That's only a one-time kind of claim your account process that Yelena was talking about. If you don't remember the password, if it's written down someplace else, feel free to reset that password, but the email address will be connected. Just going through these really quick before we pivot into the export functionality. Gavin, that's a great question. It is being recorded. I will defer to the CDA team about when it will get sent out. I do know that they send it out pretty promptly right after the webinar kind of finishes processing, but I don't want to misspeak. But can confidently say it is being recorded. It is going to be shared. So that is one. We've got a couple of questions around access. Just so that we don't take up time on this webinar for individual kind of access issues, please do reach out to that email address. And then from there, we'll be able to kind of one-to-one troubleshoot if you're not accessing. We've got one question. How do we populate all the leads scanned from Cindy? We will go over that in just a second. You made a perfect segue for Yelena, talking about how you'll be able to export data after the event ends. And then one other question is around, is it possible to set up an automatic message that is sent to visitors as soon as they are scanned through the app? There's no way to set up automatic messaging, but you'll be connected once you scan someone's badge. And then from there, you can continue the conversation. You can book a kind of more formal time to meet with them. But again, you'll have access to all that information for the duration of the event. And then after the event, you'll be able to export any of those lead qualification answers, the different comments, activity you had with that particular person. But automatic messaging is not a current feature of the app. But I'll pass it back over to Yelena for exporting to answer Cindy's question about populating leads that are scanned, unless Jason, you wanted to jump in.
I just want to mention, like, there was a question earlier about, like, what do you do with all the questions? You know, in previous times with our previous registration vendor, Merits, they had devices you could rent, and you could program in some questions, so qualifying questions. So, what's your budget? What's your purchasing time frame? What product are you interested in? So you can, as Jelena was saying, you can make customized questions, maybe 3 or 5 questions, 2 questions, whatever you want to capture, so that your salesperson in the booth can ask that attendee as they're scanning their badge, hey, what's your time frame for purchase? Are you interested in the Acme 2000 line of speakers, or whatever questions you want to put in there? That can help you qualify those leads after the fact, as you have collected all this data after the show. So you don't have to ask or add any qualifying questions at all. You could just have it so you scan the badge and then sort through them later. There is a capability that you can view the leads that you have scanned, and you can export them. So back to the question about automated message, you could export. Let's say hypothetically, you download the leads at the end of each show day, and then you send them out an email to the group of leads. So Charles, your question about lead qualification questions. The question here is, it's totally up to you what you'd like to know from attendees. So you can program in a question that you want to ask them as you're scanning their badge, and that could be different or unique for each exhibitor. But again, you don't have to put in qualification questions if you don't want to. Hope that helps a little bit. Back to you. I think Jelena was going to continue on, Shelley.
Yes. So what I also wanted to mention that Jason already did mention. So the lead qualification is just for gathering valuable information about other exhibitors. So as we mentioned, if you want to know their revenue, their business interests, their products, anything like that, you can create anything. There are no limits in numbers or anything. So anything that you want to know about other exhibitors, you can create there and just also leave answers to those questions, which will all be exportable. And I will mention that also in a second. So once you enter the web desktop version, all of the functions that we mentioned previously will also be available here on the desktop version. Some of them will be here on the left side in the navigation bar, but the most important one that we mentioned is here, and it will be available under My Team. So from here on, just to briefly mention, you will have meetings. You will be able to see all of the meetings scheduled for you and your team members. You will be able to create meetings in behalf of you and your team members. So basically, if you have any availability, you will all be able to see it under the meetings tab. The leads tab is where all of the leads will be held in, the ones who showed interest in you or you have shown the interest in them. Your connections also will be here. So you will also be able to see and create and answer questions here. So it's very convenient also for use. All of the leads, so let's say batch scanned contacts, mutual interests, scheduled meetings that you have, all of the leads that are converted into contacts will be held here, also with all of the information about scoring. If you left also any notes, everything, once you click on a profile, it will be held here. Under team members, all of you and your team members, you will be able to see who is in your team. You will be able, for the admins, to edit profiles from other team members, manage availability, change roles, remove them. When it comes to the company and also product, this will be done through the Exhibitor Hub that Jason also mentioned in the beginning. So all of the updates for companies or products, show specials, should be done through the Exhibitor Hub. Once you have updated that in the Exhibitor Hub, it will be reflected within the networking platform. Just to also mention the settings, as we mentioned on the mobile app, you can also create it on the web version if it's maybe more convenient for you. But the most important step, let's say, once the event is over, you will have around 30 days usually to access it and export it. So all of the leads converted into contacts will be in the export connections list with all of your lead qualification questions that you have created and also answers you have provided, all of the connections, all of the information the other participants provided, everything will be held here. So it's very valuable for you to collect it because after the event is finished, you can go through all the list, contact anyone after the event that you are looking to contact. So it's very convenient when it comes to that. So that's it for me. If you maybe have any questions regarding this part, regarding exports.
Well, again, we will have your personnel on site located in the registration area at the convention center. So, they're there to help answer questions. If anybody's having difficulties logging in, if attendees need help with the app, etc. And but in between now and then, of course, let's send out logins again. Let's make sure if you have questions, then you get those answered, and we'll be able to help you out. And the part of it being live now, going back to the matchmaking component, you can start to, especially through the desktop login, you could start to make appointments with attendees or reach out to them, invite them to your booth, make connections. There was a question earlier about personally identifiable information. Attendees who register for the show in our terms have to essentially agree by registering that if they have their badge scanned by an exhibitor, they're granting permission to the exhibitor to contact them and use their information. Now, clearly there has to be an option for somebody to opt out if they don't want to continue to receive information from any exhibitor. But basically, an attendee is granting you permission to contact them by allowing you to scan their badge. Otherwise, if you're just trying to reach out to attendees that have not visited your booth through the matchmaking functionality, you're requesting a meeting, and they can opt in or opt out of those meeting requests. So there's an opportunity there. But again, having your different team members have their own unique profiles so that they can connect with attendees. One question I did have is, let's say a company has 10 staff members in the booth and they all are collecting leads. Is there some way to centrally aggregate those on the back end through the primary booth contact, or does it have to be individually downloaded? What's a question for Jelena or Shelley?
When you do that export that she's showing, oh, sorry, that she's showing on the screen now, it will be for you and all of your colleagues. If you wanted to export just your own like kind of badge scans or connections, you can in that kind of magic top right corner where you see your picture. There's a personal export option. Just wanted to clarify though that does not include those lead specific details like those qualification questions, but it will just include their profile data. That export meetings or export connections that you see under that My Team section will be for you and all of your booth staff. So it doesn't need to be everyone doing it themselves. They can, one person can be the designated person, but anyone on the team will have the ability to export this for that 1 month kind of post show that Yelena was talking about.
That's great. Any other questions that come to mind about the GRIP platform, lead retrieval? Just making sure we've answered, we'll try to address all the questions that were entered into the Q&A.
We've got a question from Abraham around teaching the team how to use it. Everything in the mobile app does work. Everything in the platform does work. The only thing you're not able to do is scan your own badge. That's the one specific thing you can't do. If you could grab your colleague's badge, if you could connect with your colleague on the app, you'll be able to try out those lead qualification questions, what that looks like. but just because of the nature of the system, you're not able to physically scan yourself. Anyone else, you can kind of demo or roll, kind of try it out with your colleagues, but you're not able to scan your own personal badge. But yes, everything functionality-wise is kind of fully live. Everything is there to try out and learn and get comfortable with before the show starts. That way you can hit the ground running when the show is on.
Thank you, Shelley.
Of course.
Anything
Great
else, maybe?
questions.
Again, we'll be passing out flyers to every exhibitor's booth and at exhibitor registration with kind of a cheat sheet on how to do the lead collection, lead scanning with the app. We'll have those available on site. And then again, we will have personnel from GRIP on hand starting on Wednesday through the show to help with any more challenging questions. But again, as we discovered, a key component here is to get yourself registered, get your personnel registered for the show, because that's a key component, and having it synced up with the GRIP data and being able to log in and collect and retain leads. All right. Well, thank you very much for participating today. As we said, this session has been recorded. We'll have it available online so you can share with your colleagues and rewind and go over it again. But please take the opportunity to download the app and start playing with it and see how the functionality works. And again, we're all here to help and answer any questions you have, whether it's about the mobile app or anything about show services, marketing opportunities. We're looking forward to a fantastic show. I know the VIP Show Daily Edition is being sent out this week, so you'll get a preview of what's going to go on at the show. But we really appreciate your support. It's going to be another fantastic event. We're excited for attendees to see your new products and for you to engage with them. So again, we'll see you shortly in Denver, and we appreciate you. Until then, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.